Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's great. So any guesses on what we're going to learn today? Hello? Hello? Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, that's good. So I've started my screen share. So is the screen visible to you guys?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, I was asking what we're going to learn today.
More about hacking.
Okay, that's generic. Specifically, what are we going to learn? Any guesses?
Like more about Google Docs.
Nope, nope, nope. Nice try, but Google doesn't today's session. Any other guesses? Hello? Yes, Abhishek. Yes, that's correct. We are going to learn about scanning today. So how did you get to know about the scanning part that we're going to learn scanning today? Is it just a wild guess or did you get it somewhere from the screen? Yes, good, good, good. That's a good way to analyze. That's a good way to analyze. Information gathering, scanning. After scanning, we're going to learn gaining access, not directly maintaining access, but gaining access. So without any delay, let's jump into today's topic. We are going to learn about scanning. Okay, scanning networks. So let me actually start my presentation. Right, so this is the agenda for today. So for the first thing, we're going to learn what is scanning, what is network scanning. What do you find out when you do a network scan? What else can you do with it? And what is the motive? What is your idea behind, like, why you're going to do scan? Okay. The second, before we actually jump into some scanners, we are going to learn about Metasploitable 2. Okay, I'll tell you in detail about Metasploitable 2 later when we come to that slide. Third and fourth, Angry IP Scanner and Nmap Scanner are two scanners that are actually going to help you out with identifying the live hosts in a network and some different services on them, something like that. And obviously the final one is your thing to do. So there we go. The first slide. So what do you mean by scanning? What do you mean by network scan? What do you mean by port scan? What do you mean by service scan or something like that? Can you do you guys want to actually give a try at it? Why do we perform scanning?
Sir, scanning is nothing but to scan the whole thing, whether it is running efficiency with official usage, or if anyone is coming to like having an unauthorized access or to check something.
Okay, so your definition about scanning is correct, but then this particular network scan is totally different from whatever you said.
Scanning for vulnerabilities.
So that was a nice try. Scanning for vulnerabilities. Okay, that is not this one either. Vulnerability scanning is something that we're going to learn later in this course. But then again, open to all. Well, you can see the definition right in front of you. Maybe you can also see that and tell if you understood anything from that.
Yeah, sir. Basically, the network scanning is nothing but the attacker or the entity who is going to who does want to hack a device or any network. He'll first scan the complete thing and he'll see if there is any open pathway to hook in or not.
Yes, that is something close that I was looking for. So, right after your information gathering about, for example, you gathered some info about a victim, how to enter, and then you actually got the IP or particular link to his device. For example, he's using a device, and definitely it'll have an IP. You got that IP. Now you'd want to perform scanning on that particular IP, but why? So what will you get when you perform a network scan on that particular IP, or port scan or something like that? Different scans you have. So when you perform this particular scanning on that device, you actually get to know what ports are open in that particular device and what services are running on that ports. Is there any vulnerable service running that can actually give you some opening, or is there any properly known service that is running on, or is there any random port open that actually has any malware already in that, which you can make use to get into? So this is something that scanning will give you. Okay, so generally it is done to identify open ports and different services running on the system or server or device, whatever it is. So let me I think I already gave you the disclaimer about this course. This is only for educational purposes. If you go and use it somewhere else for illegal stuff, we at Phoenix Global are not responsible for it. Okay. And this is where the actual illegal stuff starts from. And this is going to, grab your attention like anything from you, because, student psychology, whenever they find illegal, they actually get attracted. And this is not just student psychology, but anybody at this age, they actually turn to something bad rather than something good. So be safe, practice it in controlled environments, which I'm going to explain you further. Don't get into any fuss, because once you get into any fuss, it'll be a bit difficult to come out of it. So yeah, so something about the scanning. After scanning, the tools, what can be the tools that can be used for scanning purposes? So you have different network scanning tools, IP scanning tools, or something like that. Scanner. The next one, Nmap. So the thing about me bolding that Nmap is because this is one of the most important tools. Okay, and you have to have knowledge of this, because that first thing, that is absolutely free. It is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, and in other OS. You can actually get those source packages and also compile that. And the third part being, it offers you a variety of functionalities. So not just a scanner, not just a network scanner, it can also be used for vulnerability scanning and different other things. So Nmap is something that you have to have in your arsenal when you start hacking or penetration testing. So that is why there is the emphasis on Nmap over here. And then you also have NetDiscover and other different scanners. So the two scanners that we're going to actually look at right now is Angry IP Scanner and Nmap Scanner. And one thing about this thing is, I'm going to introduce you to Nmap Scanner today, and I'm going to show you some different types of scans over here. But then Nmap scanning is also going to be continued in the next session, that is on Monday, where I'll be telling you the scans in detail. Okay, you can say that the Monday half of the session is going to be about Nmap scan, about different types of scan, and one slide, each slide will be about one scan that's going to be going on. So something like that. So by that thing, you can actually understand how Nmap is important, kind of thing. So let's go into the next slide. So do you guys have any doubt up to here? Or are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great. So let's see what is Metasploitable. So I know you guys might have heard a bit about Metasploit framework, MSF console. That is totally different from Metasploitable. Okay. So Metasploit or Metasploit framework, if you've heard of it, Metasploitable is also from Rapid 7. So Metasploitable is an intentionally made vulnerable machine. Okay. So this particular image or virtual machine has been designed with different vulnerabilities and openings just for cybersecurity aspirants to practice on it. Okay, so without actually getting caught performing things on live without anybody's consent, you can actually download many other vulnerable machines that are right out there in the internet and actually try practicing your skills of penetration testing or ethical hacking on that particular machine, because you're going to be hosting it on your own desktop or PC or laptop, and you're going to try it on that. So there you go, you have your skill enhancement right there, and you're not getting caught also by anybody. So Metasploitable is one such machine, vulnerable machine. It is built with outdated packages being used in vulnerable ports and something like that, and this machine can be hosted in your virtual VMware workstation and virtual box. I actually wanted to walk you through the setup, but then it actually didn't get downloaded, and it was almost 75%, and almost we had to start off the session. So yeah, I'll walk you through the Metasploitable setup in the next class too. But if at all you want to get it downloaded, you can directly go to this particular link that I've put up over here. Yeah, again, I'll be pasting this link. I'll be pasting this presentation in our group too. But let me actually put this in the chat over here so you can directly go ahead and actually see. So Rapid 7 is a firm that actually built your Metasploit framework, Armitage, and this one, Metasploitable 2 as well. So go into this link that I've pasted there and scroll down a bit. You can see downloading and setting up Metasploitable 2, and he actually gives you the different the steps to actually set it up as well. But then I'll actually walk you through and then walk you through it in the next class. So go to the second link, and that should take you to sourceforge.net project Metasploitable. There you have download, and click it, and your download should start automatically over here. So yeah, so here it goes, it started, and I just don't want it to continue right now, so I'll just cancel that. So that being about Metasploitable. So yeah, you actually have Metasploitable version 3 and also version 1. Version 1, which is very too much outdated, and then version 3 is a bit kind of next level. So Metasploitable 2 is what I suggest you guys to begin with. So you can go ahead and install Metasploitable 2. And the next thing that we're going to see about today is Angry IP Scanner. Okay. So Angry IP Scanner is one particular scanner tool that is so that is also freely available. And to actually get it, you can actually go to this link. Let me paste it in the chat. Do some modifications, build your own tool, and you can also compile if you want. And then, so how do you install it for Linux is click on the Linux part of it, and since you're going to run Kali or Parrot or whatever, and all these options built on Debian as a base, you can actually go and download deb package. Okay, and let me start my Kali as well. so that I can, maybe I can actually show you. So and yeah, I'm also again and again, performing scanning on any network without anybody's consent is an illegal thing, and if at all you get caught, you might face some consequences. So be careful. So let me tell you more about the scanner right before my Kali loads up. Okay, so Angry IP Scanner is a graphical user interface based tool, GUI based tool. This is not a command line kind of thing. So usage is, all you need to do is install it. After you install it in your Linux, go to your terminal and type out IP scan. And find the scan, and this will open up your GUI of your Angry IP Scanner. So the main purpose of Angry IP Scanner is finding out how many live hosts are actually available, or live devices are actually available in a network. Let me actually show you how to do this. So I already have my Angry IP Scanner installed in my Kali. So, or if not, let's actually go ahead and install it if there is. Yes, I do have it installed. So yeah, this is the GUI that is actually going to open up, and the range is also already given by it, and all you have to do is simply go ahead and click start. Okay, that's updated. If there is a different IP range. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, guys. So where did I lose you guys?
IP scanner, IP range, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, I got you back. So where did I lose you guys again?
IP scanner, sir.
Angry IP Scanner. Okay. So yeah, let me share back my screen. Right. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
All right. So yeah. So this is a command IP scan to open up your Angry IP scanner, and go ahead and click on the start. That will that will run your network scan to discover the live hosts in your network and pick your target from here. Okay. The next part is, you can see the small gear icon over here. Click on that and you can change your number of threads that are running. Obviously, if you increase your threads, it'll eat up more of your server. It'll eat up more of your RAM. I'm sorry. So you have to be good on that. How many things you want. You can actually leave it as default. The next thing is, go ahead onto the display. You can actually display all scan hosts, or you can display your live hosts, and you can also choose your hosts with open ports only. So if you put hosts with open ports, that will display the host only, that has open ports only. Rather, it won't display any other things. Okay. So these are the different display options that are there of IP scanner. And let me tell you, so this is something that will give you only number of hosts that are alive in your network. They're actually responding, and if at all they have any open ports, that will display over here. So kind of limited functionalities, but then the scanning is a bit fast. So if you really want a quick ping scan on how many hosts there that are alive on your network, you can go ahead and use Angry IP scanner. That being said about something about the Angry IP scanner, let's move to our hero of this session, Nmap. Okay. So Nmap scanner is actually pretty much popular. I definitely think that if any of you have done your homework on cybersecurity, the first few things that you're gonna hear about the tools is, one thing is Nmap scanner, the other thing is Metasploit framework, and the other thing is Burp Suite. And if you're looking at an enterprise level experience, then obviously you might have heard of Nessa scanner, right? So how many of you have actually heard about Nmap scanner?
Award.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I kind of know about it.
Good, good. So did you actually perform any Nmap scans?
Uh, no, sir.
Okay, so you just have heard about Nmap, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so to tell you something
Tried out
about
a,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I tried out a GUI UI based Nmap things. It was called
Okay,
that Zenmap.
it's called Zenmap.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, right, that's great. So any others have actually used Nmap till now on anything?
On Zenmap,
Okay,
it's like
see.
catch packets, observe them, find out the keys of the user.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay, thank you for that. So I think nobody has actually ever tried Nmap or Zenmap properly. So let me actually tell you about Nmap. So and I actually mean this when I type it out, that Nmap is one of the craziest network scanners ever because of its functionality and availability. Okay, Nmap is also again open source. You can actually go to this particular link over here. This will take you to the Nmap official website, and this is the Nmap website. So I think not I think. So Kali actually has Nmap built and embedded with it when you get Kali installed, and I think Parrot and other penetration distributions also have Nmap with them built in. If at all you don't actually get Nmap, you can actually install it. Again, this is also available for Windows. And if at all you want to install it for Linux, you don't have Debian based packages. You have only RPM, that is Fedora based kind of packages, RPM packages, where you can actually convert these RPM packages using Alien or some other tools that are available into a Debian package, and you can go ahead and install. So this is also available for Mac, and there is a source code also provided if you want to change it. Okay. So that being about the downloads, you can also read some stuff about Nmap. And again, guys, just a minute. All right, I'm back. So I was telling you about Nmap, right? So why did I say that Nmap is like the craziest network scanner ever? Because of its functionality too. So this is not only just like a live host discovery kind of thing. You can actually discover open ports. You can actually you can actually detect the OS that a particular device is running. And what else? You can actually discover in detail about the services that are being run. And other than that, this actually Nmap actually gives you an option to run custom scripts. Okay, you can get the .NAC scripts downloaded, and you can actually run it. Okay, and what kind of scripts do I mean when I say it gives you the ability to run scripts? So let's go to this, and you have these options over here. Okay, vulnerability scanners, and you can do a bit of exploitation with this, wireless scanners, sniffers, and whatnot. So Nmap actually gives you different functionalities which you can actually make use of it. And coming to the next part, oh, and the last part, this is also available in a GUI based application kind of thing, which is named as Nmap. I'll be showing that to you as well right now. So continue. The usage of Nmap is give the command Nmap, specify the options, and then specify the host. That can be an IP address or even a website domain kind of thing. So right when you enter, when you press Nmap and enter, that will actually give you the help manual of Nmap about different options that you can use with Nmap. Okay. And I actually told you that in the next class, I'm going to tell you about different types of scans in detail, right? So those scans are, you can find it over here, okay? Those scans are aggressive scan being one, and then, full connect scan, TCP full connect scan, XMAS scans, fin scans, and different types of scans, okay? So that'll actually take up half of the session, which is why I wanted to, dedicate proper time to it. So let's see some basic level scans of it, okay? So I press Nmap over here, and then SN will actually give you a ping scan, and then I wanted to get before that is a bit fast, and now I'm 168.1.0-255. And before that, if you're actually having a bit of doubt in what your IP range might be, go ahead to your terminal and use ifconfig. You'll actually get to know the prefix, and all you have to do is put 0 to 255 over in the last part of the address range, and you can actually do it on one particular IP as well. For example, when you're actually running a range scan, you're getting the number of live hosts that are actually present in the network over there, right? So and once you run the range scan and you pick up your target, you can actually go ahead and run aggressive scan with OS detection. Okay. So what was mine here? This was 18. think I actually have one vulnerable machine over here. Let me run it. If at all it is working. So if this doesn't work out here, anyways, I'll be demonstrating with Metasploitable 2 in the next session. All right, so this one actually started. So I'll perform the ping scan again and see if there is any new IP that has been added up. It's 23. I think I suspect that is 23. So I'll actually go ahead and perform an aggressive scan on it. So an aggressive scan is a type of scan where it actually goes ahead and performs OS enable detection and service detection and different options included. So let me perform that aggressive scan. D4, and I need the logos on that, and 192.168.1.23. So if you can see what is going on right now, it is so when you put up with the aggressive scan, it loads up different scripts in the NSE engine and it performs on that. And the next part being, there you can see it is performing a port scan, this discovering 22 port, 111 port, 3306 port open, and it is also trying to do the OS detection part. So let's see what it came up with actually. Okay. So if you start from here, you can see this table kind of thing that is arranged without any borders, obviously. So you can see 22, and generally 22 runs service SSH. So I think you've already heard about SSH. It's like a shell kind of thing, a connection, remote connection establishment thing. And then you have 111, the RPC bind, and 3306 is for SQL database. So when I run the scan, I actually got to know that 22 port is open, 111 port is open, 3306 port is open. So what is it trying to give me? It is giving me that these particular services are actually running on those. And if I actually am able to get the version that is running on those, I can actually go to Google and hit up with those versions and see if it actually has any vulnerabilities in it. So this is something that actually provides you with the first step, or the virtually first step, because the first step in hacking is information gathering. The second step is scanning. So if you talk about getting the openings in a device, this will be your first step that you're going to take. So whenever you're playing with a CTF, or you're doing it on a Metasploitable kind of vulnerable machine like this, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and scan it. Okay. So what can be one more thing is you can actually mention the number of ports that you're going to scan on. Okay, since I didn't mention any ports currently, the you have to run it on these many ports, or the range of ports, or one or two ports or something like that. By default, Nmap will do it on uh, top 1,000 commonly known ports. Okay, what can be the top 1,000 commonly known ports is 22 ports is one of the most commonly used port, and you have 23 for telnet, and 25 25 is for SMTP, I guess, and then the other things is 80 for HTTP, 443 for HTTPS, and there are some common ports that are actually open up. Yeah, you can also see 3306 is for MySQL, and I think that is 5432 for Postgres and something like that. So there are common ports for some common services. So if you don't mention any port numbers when you're mentioning about the command, when you're running the scan, that will perform it on the top 1,000 ports that it knows. So let me actually put dash p dash. So tag p tag. So tag p is used for mentioning the ports. So you can mention some specific ports. For example, I put tag p22. That will give you only that will give you detail about only the 22 port, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that is how it goes. Let us actually see what it is. Yeah. Trace root address. And see, if you see it, this actually performed it on only one port, that is 22. Similarly, not only one port, but then you can also provide range of ports. But for now, let me run it on all the ports. So how many ports do we have? We have around 65,536 ports. So you can actually just mention a dash p dash. So when you just give a dash, that automatically assumes that it is 0 to so and so. So when you're actually putting it as a dash, it actually asks for a range. Okay, for example, 0 to 100 ports, if that is what you want to do, something like that. But if you don't provide the range and if you put only a dash, that assumes that to be running it on 0 to 65,535, that is all the ports. So I'm running an all port scan over here on that particular IP, and let's see what it gives. So who can tell me the difference about what it found in this and the previous scans that we did?
It covered some open ports.
Yeah, it got some ports, that is correct. But the first time we performed a scan, that time also we got some open ports. But what is the difference between what we did right now and what happened in the first scan that we actually did?
And now it is checking every port
Good,
which is
good,
available.
good. Now it is checking all ports. You can see here 65,535 total ports. And then what is something different about the ports that it actually displayed prior in the first scan and the ports it is displaying right now? Can you see any difference? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Use your Hawkeyes. Tell me what is different. guys? Okay, wait. I'll actually run the previous scan again, compare the results, and then you can actually tell me what is different and what. So let me run the previous scan that we did. 192.168.1.23. Yeah, now tell me. What is the difference between these results and these results? Just one word is what I'm looking for. Just one word. Come on, guys, this should be pretty easy. Come on, come on. Are you there? Okay. So if everybody pass, then I'll only have to answer it then. So what I'm getting over here is an extra port that is detected when I did an all port scan. That is 7071 port is actually open, which I didn't actually get when I performed a regular scan without mentioning the port numbers. So I didn't mention it as an all port scan over here, but I mentioned, yeah, but I mentioned an all port scan over here, which led to the discovery of some other port that was not actually detected in the general scan. So what is the advantage of this is, so when you're actually trying to hack a network, and if the person is actually thinking of he has an idea of being secure, he generally doesn't run the regular services on the regular ports. For example, for suppose he needs to run an SSH service, and by default the port will be 22. So if he is a person who's actually looking forward to be a bit secure, he'll try to run it on a different port, not 22 port. What is the advantage of it? You might have that question, about what is the advantage, what is the difference? That is also the same service, this is also the same service. But the difference over here is, when there is an actual what do you say, when there is an actual automated scan that is running on and it runs only for default ports, there is a clear chance of this particular port not even being visible to that particular scanner, is it? So which is why people actually prefer to run those services on different ports rather than running them on the default ports. So this can be one of the step towards, a bit of security, that you want to run it on different ports as well. But then if at all you are actually aware that, you have to run an all port scan, then obviously you can have it as an opening, because that will detect all the open ports. So understood? So coming back to this, you can also output your Nmap scan into a file, okay? And the option for that is, you can see it over here. So generally we're going to use ON to output that into a text file, and tag small o capital N, and mention that file name, for example, test scan. if you see, I don't find any test scan right now. Oh wait, I do have it, but
Last one.
yeah. Let this complete and like that will be enough. So we have the test scan. Let's see what. So there you go. So it stores your whatever scan you've done in an output to the normal file. Control X. So why is it important to actually store your scan output in a file? Because scanning a network and see if at all you're performing an aggressive scan on all of your network, that'll take a lot of time. If you see, I've performed it only on one IP and it took me a bit of time. But then think of this scenario where you want to actually run aggressive scan on a big network, okay, that has some 70 to 80 devices. Just guess how much time it would actually take, right? It might actually go on with hours on end, hours on end, hours on end. So if at all there is a situation where you have to actually run the scan on all of your network, just try to store it and store it in a file so that you don't have to perform a scan again and again, thereby eating up your day's time. Is it? So that is the importance of you storing the output in a file. What else can we actually see when we open? So if at all you've observed the command that I've actually uh, written over here, I expected you guys this A, what is this T4 and what is this V? Okay. So since nobody actually pushed me with that doubt, I'll myself explain that. So tag A is an aggressive scan, as I already mentioned before. What comes with the aggressive scan is it performs a package kind of scanning that includes service detection, OS detection. This is the service detection. This is port scans kind of thing. And what else do we have involved in the aggressive scan is obviously that will perform ARP scan too. And moreover, it runs some scripts. Okay, as I told you that an Nmap has an ability to run scripts through its NSE script engine. When you perform an aggressive scan, it performs it uses different scripts that are there in the Nmap scripts folder. Okay, C. There you go. So, and attack A means aggressive scans. It comes with this OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and trace route, etc., etc., etc. So what is the V over here? The small V that is mentioned over here is about the verbosity level. Okay, the detailed explanation that it has to give with your output is something like a brief about what is verbosity. You can increase the verbosity by adding more V's to it. Okay, maybe a tag double V or a tag triple V will give you much verbosity on that. Okay. So these being some common options that can be used. Oh, right. I didn't tell you about the T4, is it? So the T4, where is it? Yeah. So T4 is about the time. Okay. The higher the number from 0 to 5, the faster your scan is. The lower the number, the slower and deeper your scan is. Okay. So that is about the T0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So these being something about the common, common tags or common options that you're going to use with Nmap. One more thing is you can actually perform Nmap on websites as well. Okay, so I don't want to perform this website. I don't want to perform this Nmap scan website that is actually hitting me up. So let me see what I can perform this Nmap scan on. Okay. So I want to perform a map scan on Pakistan government's PM this thing. So let me actually perform it. PM and an on-port scan pmo.gov.pk. Let's see what it is. Oh, so they actually have something that actually blocked our probe. So this happens when there is a kind of blockage on their side. Maybe they have a firewall or something like that that blocks our ping probes. So you can't perform it on everywhere. You can, so if at all you doubt me, you can actually perform that on Infosys domain or something, and you definitely will be blocked. So, which is why I told you whenever you perform Nmap on somebody else's things, you have to be a bit careful. You might be blocked or something like that. And if at all they check out the logs or something, they actually can report it. So this is something about the scanners, and in the next session I'll actually tell you much in detail about the different types of scans it can do, about the fin scans, stealth scans, full TCP connect scans, and XMAS scans, push scan, different types of scans. Okay, so I'll be telling you about different options that are available in Map further in the next session. That being about today's thing, this is your assignment for today. Go ahead, download your Metasploitable 2 and try to set it up yourselves in VirtualBox and experiment it. Okay, whenever you're running your Nmap scans on these purposely made vulnerable machines, you will get many open services that you can actually crack them through. Since that is actually made intentionally for your practice purposes, you'll find many vulnerable services running on it. Okay, so go ahead and try it. Install Metasploitable 2. I've already gave you the links. I'll put up with the PPT by evening in the group. Anyways, so yeah, so that is about today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. And do you have any doubts up till now? Guys? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so do you guys have any doubt till now or something? Or
Sir, it's not working on to scan the Wi-Fi network of mine.
Okay, what do you mean it is not working?
It says only one port is found.
It says only one port is found. So
Yeah, and even that is wrong.
what was the command that you, so okay, did you actually run it right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's do one thing. Uh, what we'll do is anyways, anyways, this is also something that is up. Okay, so if at all you guys have any doubts, you can actually ping me on my WhatsApp, and if at all I'm available, I'll definitely try to answer. Yesterday Rakesh, I think, was in contact with me asking about different stuff, different doubts he had. So Srujan, what we're going to do is uh, let me actually get in contact with you right after this call. Let's
Sure.
end this call and you come to
Okay, okay.
me personally in contact, and let's see what is
Yes,
happening on the backside, right? And
yes.
other than this, do you have any doubts over here? Karthikeya, okay. So what actually ports refer to? So who's ready to answer this on my behalf? Obviously, I'll answer it, but before me answering that, does anybody wants to give a shot at this question that Karthikeya asked? What does a port actually refer to?
It's like a pathway for a service to connect to the internet.
Okay, that's a good answer. Any other answers?
It's like a tunnel of connectivity.
Good, good, good. And nobody else knows literally what is a port? I think you might have been told about a port in the networking class, is it? Guys, okay, fine. So, Kartikeya, port actually refers to an endpoint kind of thing. Okay, so when you need to run some services on that, and you want to establish a connection, a port is something that actually gives you the opening to connect. Okay, so there are different types of ports. What we are trying to give you here, I mean, what we are trying to explain over here is about virtual ports. What do you mean by physical ports or something like that? So if at all you have a network hub, so if at all you've ever seen a network hub, you can actually see different cables going in the hub, is it? So the place where the thing where you plug in your network cable is a network port of that particular hub. That is a real port. Something like that is what is a virtual port, which is what we are discovering over here in the network scan. Okay, similar to the real port that acts as an endpoint and connection establishment point of that cable and that hub. This is something similar over here where we are trying to establish a connection using this port. So this acts as an opening for the endpoint connection. Does that clear your doubt, Kartikeya?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, that's good. Rakesh, which point did you actually not understand? About ports, okay, that's good. About the ports, is it the virtual port that you want, or the real-time port that you didn't understand? The network hub port. Virtual one, okay. So you understood the real-time ports, right? So answer me, what did you understand about the real ports, real world ports? Rakesh, you can unmute yourself and actually talk. And guys, don't hesitate to ask doubts. Okay? Nobody's going to judge you over here. You can ask any doubts that you have. And I already told you, I think twice or thrice, if I know the answer to it, I'll answer you guys. If I don't know, I'll go refer and come back and answer you in the next session. So nothing wrong. You can ask doubts, please. I guess it is a hub for connection establishment. Okay, so hub, see, a hub or a switch is a network device. Okay. Hub for connection is something that doesn't sound appropriate. So hub is different, port is different. You have multiple ports on a hub or a switch. A hub or a switch is a device that has multiple ports where your network connections go in. Okay. So the port is an endpoint kind of thing that will enable you to establish a connection. So that is something about the real ports in a hub or a switch, whereas a virtual port is something very similar to that, but the only thing is it is virtual. That's it. That's the only difference. That is an endpoint to establish a connection between the internet and your system where the client service is actually running on. For example, let's take the SSH port itself. On port 22, if you're running SSH service and you want to connect to another system, for example, there is a system A, there is a system B, and you need to you need to actually connect them with an SSH connection or something like that, remote connection. So what you do is you enable your SSH service and you connect through the port 22. So what is it doing over here is it is enabling you to actually establish the connection between those two systems. Okay, that is the work of a port. So if at all you want to connect to a system, you need a port that has these particular services running on. Okay, understood? While we are scanning on Nmap or IP scan, on what basis does it find the available devices? Very good. So that's a good question. So simply, let's yes, that is true. Like a trial and error method by sending ACK. Okay, you try to answer it yourself. That is a good answer, but let me simplify that for you. Okay. And before I actually give you this example, let's cut out the proxy attendance part of that. So let's suppose that there is a class going on for you guys and your lecturer actually wants to see whoever is actually present in the class. What does he do? He reads out the roll number, and if at all you are present, you acknowledge it. Okay, you just reply with present sir, present madam, whatever it is. The same way, I'll be sending different requests to different services running on different ports. Okay, so I'll just send the ICMP echo request, and if there is something that is actually running and the port is open, it will reply me with something which can be used as an acknowledgement that so and so port is open. Understood? Just like an attendance. So I call out, a port number 1, are you present? So it replies me with an acknowledgement, yes, I'm present, sir. I'm sending out to as port number 22, it replies me with an acknowledgement packet, it says, yeah, I'm present. Something like that. Okay, you send requests and you get responses, and that is when you confirm that so and so is actually up. Does that clear your doubt? By the way, this is a good question that is asked. And then this is what I'm actually going to explain in the next session. Okay, how is there a connection establishment? So when I actually tell you, I'm going to explain about different scans, about the full TCP connect scan or some stealth scan or something like that. So let me complete the statement and I'll answer your question. So this particular thing, so I was telling you that whenever I tell you that, I'm going to explain about different scans, this is what I'm going to actually explain about how the connect is actually happening, how you're getting acknowledgement, and how you're actually understanding if that particular thing actually is open or something. Okay, so this is what we're going to see in the next session on Monday. And coming to this, but the administrator doesn't know about this request? Again, a very good question. This is why I actually told you that running a scan or something from here is what is going to be illegal. Why? Because you'll actually get caught if you actually run this scan or on somewhere. And if at all the administrator, network administrator actually checks the logs or something like that, you know. So I think that you were actually told about protocol analyzers, if I'm not wrong, Wireshark or something like that. Ashwin did explain you about Wireshark, is it? So when a network manager runs protocol analyzers on his network, he actually can see what all requests are actually coming to his network or something like that, or on a switch or something. So when he actually analyzes the PCAP file that is actually going on in front of him, he can see different random requests coming from ports from the same IP. Okay. See, in a genuine connection that is being made over here, a system will request for one service, it sends the request, and the connection is established, and then there is communication going on. But think of this scenario where from one particular IP address you're getting 1,000 requests. Okay, you know, if at all you're running on 1,000 ports, you're getting 1,000 requests. So this is something sort of a fishy behavior that the network administrator will actually notice. This is why we are going to use different scans, which is what I'm telling you right now. So there are actually stealthier scans compared to whatever things that you do, you know, without actually getting caught or something like that, without getting noticed, how to make it look genuine kind of thing. So you can actually run very silent scans. Okay, very silent scans. By the way, I mean, XMA scan or fin scan, or say not SIN scan, but ACK scan or fin scan, FIN scan. So these particular scans are actually comparatively stealthier than your full TCP connect scan, SIN scan kind of things. Okay, so which is what I'm going to explain to you in the next session. Does that clear your doubt, Rakesh? Right, that's great. So any other doubts, guys? I hope you're actually doing your assignments. You know, that's for your own good. Go ahead and, you know, try experimenting stuff. Don't get caught anywhere. And again, if you actually get caught, I'm not responsible for it. Neither is Phoenix Global. That being said, okay, right then, bye-bye, signing off. Let's meet you in the next session.